It is interesting, more especially if you are a citizen of the United States of America. Most individuals do see two individuals who are going to file for presidential candidate in the United States. In the Republican Party, we have J.D. Vance, who is the vice president of Donald Trump, and Marco Rubio, who is the Secretary of Foreign State Secretary of the United States of America. Those individuals have a clear ambition of running in 2028 immediately after Donald Trump. But there's a rift between these individuals, but most individuals can't acknowledge this true fact. I want you to observe what Nick Fuentes has to say about JD Vance, why he is interested to run in 2028, or why he was interested to go ahead and somehow make a deal with the Iranians. And we are going to observe what the Associated Press article had to say, more especially when it comes to JD Vance and Marco Rubio. It's going to be interesting, and if you are interested in this kind of videos, as usual, I request you to go ahead, subscribe, like, and also don't forget to share. And also, I would like your thoughts on what you believe or what you think about the word I'm going to share.
And I think now this is why Vance is throwing himself in front of the peace process. This is why he wants to be the guy in Islamabad. He wants to be the guy at Switzerland that's negotiating the MOU, because this is going to be a huge liability, a huge like hot potato they're going to have to neutralize in 27, because they're going to be asked like, okay, Iran war, what did you do?
Completely split the base, dude, this war.
Yes, and his answer is going to need to be something like, well, my job was to support the president. I had no say in the matter. You know, as the vice president, my job is to do what he tells me. But what I did is I brokered the peace, and I was instrumental in ending it and blah, blah.
So according to Nicky Fuentes, he believes that J.D. Vance is being given an opportunity to kind of go out and show his own skills in how he can make some negotiations. We need to remember that the likes of J.D. Vance and Donald Trump, or the MAGA administration, which is in office at the moment, ran on this idea that it was going to be a peace government. It was going to ensure that most of the resources which the United States of America has been siphoning out of the country, those resources are going to be put back into the United States of America to ensure that the living standards of ordinary Americans have improved. But immediately Donald Trump assumed the office, all those promises which Donald Trump had made in the previous campaigns were forgotten. So the likes of J.D. Vance is left in kind of a limbo where he really can't understand what is the next step, which he is supposed to take. What is he going to say to Americans in order for him to get out of this mess which Donald Trump administration has put him? We need to understand it is in 2026 and we have less than 2 years for these two individuals to go ahead and face the Democrats. So the likes of JD Vance saw that going in Iran and making a deal, not Iran actually, they went to Pakistan to make a deal with the Iranians, it will give him a nice opportunity, a decent kind of an argument to go ahead and say that we made a mistake as the Trump administration, but I took that responsibility because I wanted to make sure that what we promised to Americans, even though we broke those promises, I was in a position to somehow salvage the situation. And this will leave individuals like Marco Rubio in a more disadvantaged position because Marco Rubio has also the same interest of going ahead and running for presidency in 2028. So that's why Marco Rubio is interested to sabotage the success of the likes of J.D. Vance and also those individuals who is associated with. So for Marco Rubio, he is more interested in ensuring that he pleases the government of Israel or the donors of Israel, while the J.D. Vance is somehow wants to rescue this idea that his administration is not going to be interested in foreign wars. It's going to put America first. So here's what the Associated Press had to say about JD Vance and also what the administration, more especially those individuals who are pro Rubio, had to say when it comes to JD Vance having an interest of going ahead and negotiating on behalf of Donald Trump. Vance, however, seeing an opportunity to punish his foreign policy credentials jumped on it asking Trump twice to take the raid before Trump agreed, according to officials who spoke on condition of anonymity to discuss internal administration deliberations. So this was realized because this quote has been said by individuals who saw what was happening when JD Vance was allowed to go ahead and make some negotiations with the Iranians. The likes of Marco Rubio was not interested, but JD Vance seeing an opportunity to go ahead and make his name great, to kind of try to clean the mess which they have already created. He saw that it was nice for him to take this opportunity, to seize this opportunity and go ahead and make some deals with the Iranians. But according to a different individual who also responded on this matter, he said, it is rather unusual for the vice president, the VP, to be given the lead role in a negotiation. So it's not usual. For instance, if the United States, more especially Donald Trump, was interested to make a deal with the Iranians, he could have sent Marco Rubio. So, but it is quite possible that Rubio is happy to let him go. So, JD Vance wanted to go. Marco Rubio saw that, so there is no deal which is going to be discussed or to be held between the United States and Iran. So he thought it's not something big to lose. So to let him go, it's a pig in a box. It is a loser job, said Ian Kelly, a retired career diplomat and ambassador during the Trump administration. So it's crystal clear that J.D. Vance wanted this opportunity of making a deal with Iran such as to elevate himself. But like individuals like Marco Rubio, he saw that this deal is not going to hold for a long period of time. And that's exactly what has gone ahead and happened. Individuals in the Trump administration have gone ahead and destroyed the deal which they made with the Iranians. At the end of the day, the Iranians had prepared that this is a deal which is not going to be held for a long period of time. They don't trust the Americans in general. So Marco Rubio understands that he is an individual who is interested in Latin America because his parents migrated from Cuba. He is an individual who was born by migrant parents. So he is a citizen of the United States of America, but he has some interest, expansionist interest, like some of the individuals who is associated with. But individuals like J.D. Vance, a Midwest-born individual who is a Marine Corps, he is interested somehow to kind of at least ensure his country doesn't have foreign interest. He wants to entertain tech billionaires, artificial intelligence billionaires. Those are the individuals who he wants to entertain. So there's a clear difference between Marco Rubio and also J.D. Vance. Anyway, I like your thoughts. What do you think about these two individuals, more especially when it comes to 2028 elections? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Go ahead if you have found some value out of this. Subscribe. You can also like, share. See you in my next one. Siku njema.